St. Michael de Sanctus. St. Michael de Sanctus, also known as Michael of the Saints, lived during the 17th century in Spain and is revered as a model of humility, piety, and devotion to God. His life story is an inspiring tale of spiritual dedication and selflessness. Born on September 29, 1591, in Vic, Catalonia, he was baptized as Miguel Argemir y Folco. His devout parents instilled in him a strong faith from a young age, laying the foundation for his future vocation. Michael's early years were marked by a profound sense of religious devotion. He felt drawn to a life of holiness and contemplation, and at the age of 12, he entered the Descalced Mercedarians of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Mercy in Barcelona. This religious order, founded to redeem Christian slaves captured by Muslims, emphasized a life of poverty, prayer, and service to those in need. Within the monastery, Michael exhibited exceptional piety and humility, earning him the admiration of his fellow monks and superiors. He embraced the monastic life wholeheartedly, devoting himself to prayer, meditation, and acts of charity. Despite his young age, he demonstrated a remarkable maturity and wisdom beyond his years. As Michael advanced in his religious formation, he developed a deep love for the Eucharist and the Blessed Virgin Mary. He spent long hours in prayer before the Blessed Sacrament, seeking union with Christ and drawing strength from the sacramental presence of the Lord. His devotion to Mary was equally fervent, and he often turned to her as his intercessor and guide on the path of holiness. Throughout his life, Michael experienced profound mystical experiences and encounters with God's grace. He received visions and locutions that provided him with spiritual insights and guidance in his journey of faith. These mystical encounters deepened his relationship with God and fueled his desire for greater intimacy with the divine. Despite his spiritual fervor and dedication to his religious vocation, Michael faced numerous challenges and trials along the way. He endured periods of spiritual dryness and temptation, wrestling with doubts and fears about his own worthiness and ability to fulfill God's will. Yet, through prayer and perseverance, he remained steadfast in his commitment to follow Christ faithfully. One of the defining characteristics of Michael's spirituality was his profound love for the poor and marginalized. He had a special compassion for those who suffered and sought to alleviate their pain and suffering through acts of charity and kindness. He often went out of his way to assist the needy, offering them food, shelter, and spiritual consolation. Michael's reputation for holiness and sanctity continued to grow, and he soon became known as a spiritual director and confessor sought out by many. People from all walks of life came to him for guidance and counsel, drawn by his wisdom, humility, and compassion. He provided spiritual direction with gentleness and insight, helping others to deepen their relationship with God and discern His will in their lives. In addition to his role as a spiritual advisor, Michael also served his religious community with humility and dedication. He carried out his duties faithfully, performing menial tasks with joy and a spirit of self-sacrifice. His example inspired his fellow monks to embrace lives of greater simplicity, humility, and service. Throughout his life, Michael remained steadfast in his devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary, whom he considered his spiritual mother and guide. He had a deep love for the Rosary and encouraged others to pray it regularly as a powerful weapon against sin and temptation. He also promoted devotion to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, recognizing her as a source of grace and consolation for all who turned to her with faith and trust. In his final years, Michael's health began to decline, and he suffered from various ailments and infirmities. Despite his physical weakness, he continued to offer himself to God as a living sacrifice, uniting his sufferings with those of Christ on the cross. He faced death with serene confidence and trust in God's mercy, knowing that eternal life awaited him in heaven. On April 10, 1625, at the age of 33, Michael de Sanctus passed away peacefully, surrounded by his fellow monks and loved ones. His death was met with profound sorrow by all who knew him, but also with a sense of gratitude for the gift of his holy life. He was buried with great reverence, and his memory lived on as a beacon of light and inspiration for generations to come. In 1837, Michael de Sanctus was beatified by Pope Gregory XVI, and in 1862, he was canonized by Pope Pius IX. He is venerated as a saint in the Catholic Church, honored for his exemplary virtues and his fervent love for God and neighbor. His feast day is celebrated on April 10, the anniversary of his death, and he continues to be invoked as a powerful intercessor for all who seek his help in their spiritual journey.